I have always been very happy where I am at the time. I have chosen this profession many years ago, and I knew that this profession will come with moving and relocation and da. And thanks God, I found long time ago my wife and my partner, and she accepted our life as it would be, and we have always moved on. So we were always very happy. Usually we arrive, we unpack, and we are at home. Of course, I was happy in Munich at the Maximilianstraße and Vierjahreszeiten because this was my home territory, and I felt like the little mayor of the Vierjahreszeiten and the Maximilianstraße. But I must honestly say I'm happy here, and this is in the meantime our second home. We own property here, and we will also continue our lives here. Once, if I should discontinue working, we will also stay and probably commute between Hungary and Germany because we like it so much here. The challenges in Moscow and Beijing were bigger ones than here. I honestly can say this. This is a let's say decent European sophisticated city and environment. And I'm not only saying this because I'm living here. I think this is a beautiful city. Unfortunately, still a little bit wrongly perceived and estimated from the look from outside of Budapest and Hungary. But the challenges are here at the moment labor. We are all short of labor, and we have really big problems if and once the business will resume, and it will resume. We already had a very good last quarter 2021. And I would say as of April, May, we're going into I would say solid good season, and our biggest challenge is to find labor because this industry, this hotel and hospitality industry has lost so many people to other industries, and these people will not come back. And this is at the moment the biggest challenge. Other than that, life is also taking the Corona policies into account, fairly accountable and easy here. And as a matter of fact, in January, we had many customers coming from, let's say, Ukraine, from Israel and other countries, because the policies are fairly, the policies in Hungary and Budapest are fairly comfortable. We're here since 1992. We're actually celebrating our 30th anniversary this year. We have grown many hotel executives working in this country and working in Budapest and many other hotels. I think the success of today, or the success we are having despite the enlarging competition, etc., is we have always been very authentic. I think this hotel sets itself apart in terms of the atmosphere in the hotel. I think the attitude of the staff, the communication of the staff, the confidence of the staff, yet being at service. I'm, as you can imagine, meeting many people and knowing many people being so long here. People tell me this hotel feels good. And this is something which we take, and I personally take as a compliment, because I can tell you in 10-15 minutes if I go into any hotel if this hotel is doing well or not, because after 15 minutes I know this hotel feels good or it does not feel good. And people telling me here this hotel feels good, and this is something which is intangible, which is very emotional, which is about censoring, and this cannot be explained like in 1 to 3 facts, but I think this is what sets us apart. This is also what makes us an employer of choice. We had to let go many people during Corona, but we have fortunately hired many back because they want to come back here and not to go to Hotel XYZ next door or across the road, because they appreciate the atmosphere and the spirit of this hotel. The success of any hotel starts with the top management. So I am responsible for this hotel. It starts with me, but of course you have to have a good team. You have to surround yourself with good people. You have to surround yourself with people who are leaders. You have to surround yourself with people who are complementing to you. This is very important. I have never worked with followers. I like strong people. I have quite a number of women in my executive team, which I think is very good. And this is not because I'm looking for a quota or something like this. I think it is good to have women as well as men at the same time, but there should be an equal balance. And I think you have to agree, you have to like each other. You don't have to hug each other every day, but you have to like each other. You have to agree on what are the common goals and objectives. What would you like to achieve? And I think you have to be authentic and you have to be yourself. So when I hire people, I very much look at their talent, at their character, at the communication, because skills I can teach. But there is something which is called talent and which is something you need for this industry, which you either have or you don't have, and this is something you cannot teach over time. So this is what I'm looking at, and yeah, thanks God, I have always done well with this, not only here, but also in other hotels. We never shout, we never scream. I am perceived as a strong leader, I'm determined, I know what I want, but I'm giving a lot of space to my senior executives to do their job and to do a successful performance. I knew already at the age of 16, I still went to school. I was in a boarding school, and one of my family members, an uncle at the time, he had a restaurant and a club, etc., etc. And I was working there already at the age of 16, you know, selling beer and schnitzel and da. I knew at the age of 16, this is my profession. I want to become a hotel manager. Of course, I had no clue how to get there, how to possibly get there. And but this was always my ambition. I have never considered, after I did my IB, so baccalaureate, you say in French, Abitur, to go to university immediately and study law or economics. I always knew this is my passion, this is my profession, and this is what I did. And I started very groundly with doing what we call in Germany apprenticeship as a cook and as a hotel businessman, and then I started a career which then eventually took off after a few years international. And basically since then I'm traveling. I have lived more than 20 years outside of Germany. I always went back and then also outside, back and outside, but this is my passion. I go to work every day with a smile in my face, and if this will not happen one day, I will stop immediately, but I don't think that it's going to happen. I love what I'm doing. Today we have more than 1,000 pieces of art here in this hotel. Actually, some of the art is being stored in a warehouse. We are committed to Hungarian art. We have bought only pieces from Hungarian artists, be it painters, sculptures, etc., etc. And we do not want to sell. I'm often being asked, you want to sell something, why don't you sell? We don't want to sell. This is not about money. This is about a commitment and a passion which comes from the owning company. They pay for this. We have an annual budget for art, which I'm free to spend together with Ildiko as we like it. We have a good future ahead of us. We need a couple of years to bring the business back where we left it behind in 2019 before Corona started. But I am very confident about this market. I'm confident about this destination. So are our owners and investors. And I'm sure once we let this COVID behind, let's say in a way that we control it. I think this will not go, but we have to get to a stage where we control this and where we simply live with it. And I think then we will recover very nicely.